welcome. This is Garrett here from BUSNET.me, coming to you from Dubai, where the sun always shines, except when it doesn't. Today I thought I'd like to share a story with you of my unintended stress and resilience test of my little DJI Mavic Mini on my most recent vacation to Malaysia. I was actually on one of the islands, the Langkawi, a beautiful, beautiful island, a UNESCO heritage site, so it's protected, it's a mangrove island. Beautiful nature, mountains, perfect for a drone. My test of the strength of the Mini, although not intended, actually happened on the Paradise 101 island, which is a small little tiny island. You can actually walk across it, just off the coast of Langkawi. It's just a chill out and relax island. A place where the family can have fun, they can relax, they can do their thing. And I thought this is the perfect place for me to go and fly my drone. And you can see here a little impression of the island, right? So you can see geographically where it is. But more importantly, you can actually see me doing a little flyby of the island. Now, this is where the problem starts already. If you're anything like me, before you started flying that drone, you probably watched hundreds of YouTube videos, other YouTubers telling you their experience with the Mini, tips and recommendations, what to do, what not to do. Maybe you even made a pre-flight checklist. I know I did, although mentally, you should have made it physically, of course, with a piece of paper, stuck it on the remote, because this is where you go wrong. But I know all the things I need to do. I've got quite a few flights already tested the drone. But then, of course, when you arrive in an exotic location, all of that goes out of the window, doesn't it? You get too excited, and all you want is to get the drone up in the air. And actually, half the stuff that you're supposed to do, you don't do. And this is certainly the case with me. So what you will see in this video, although there is some strange things that have happened, it's all my fault, right? They're just stupid rookie mistakes. But I thought I'd share it with you anyway. So here you see some flybys of the island, and so far so good, right? Now, this is where the problem starts. I now decide that it is probably a good idea to do a complete flight around the island. And as I told you, I didn't do all my checks, so I just launched the drone on one side of the island and then decided while in flight to keep line of sight, to walk to the other side of the island. I did this, of course, without updating my return to home point. I totally forgot, right? Big mistake. Mistake number one. So anyway, I'm flying this drone, and although the island is very small, I lose line of sight. And all I now have is my iPhone, where I can see on the camera what the drone is seeing. However, I've totally lost track of the drone. I have no idea where it is. And then disaster strikes, at least in my case. I lose connection with the drone. I lose the signal. Now, I don't know what to do. Even the video feed goes blank. I see nothing. I'm blind, and I've lost complete control of the drone. Now, the reason this happened is probably that I've got my back to the drone, right? I mean, that's what I figured out later. The trees, my own body, the slight incline of the island, all of that is now between me and the drone, or more importantly, between my remote control Wi-Fi signal and the drone. So the drone, unbeknownst to me, initiates its return to home procedure, and it just starts executing that. But keep in mind what I told you, I did not update the home point. So it starts returning, unknown to me, to the other side of the island. Now this is where the second problem comes in, which you will see on the video here. I did not update the altitude for the return to home. Stupid mistake as well. Rookie mistake. Anyway, all of that is going on. I have no idea what is going on. And I actually start looking at the Find My Drone on my remote because I'm now desperate, right? I mean, this is my new little toy and it's gone. According to Find My Drone, the Mini is actually on the bottom of the ocean, out there right in front of me. And I'm feeling very sorry for myself. And while I'm standing there fiddling with this remote, my wife walks up to me from the other side of the island, asking me, am I missing something? Drone in hand. And she actually has the drone with her because the original home point was actually where she was sitting on a lounge. So now I figure out that the Find My Drone is giving me completely wrong information. And by the way, I had calibrated the compass and I did all the right things that I had done. But anyway, so I'm so happy that I have the drone back. But it is in a very, very sad state of affairs because it crashed. The nose is split open, the battery door is hanging off, all the prop blades are scuffed. So I'm really feeling sorry for myself and my little drone. So now that I got my drone back, I decided, you know what, let me actually see if there is any evidence on the drone of what might have happened, because I can't see anything on my controller, right? And as you see here, it actually did record some footage. Now the video, first of all, is very glitchy, but then you can see the video clearing up a bit. And you see the drone actually returning home. Now, I was on the beach and behind me there were trees. So the return to home was not pinpoint accurate, right? But again, you know, all of these things are my fault. What you will also see is that I had not adjusted the altitude. So my return to home altitude is below the tree line. Very stupid rookie mistake. Because what is more simple than just having the right return to home altitude, right? Launch your drone, go up in the air and use its own camera. Turn it 360 degree and make sure that everything is below the altitude that you're flying at, which is right there on the controller, on the screen. Add a few couple of meters for good measure as a margin, point steady. None of that, right? I had done none of that. Very stupid. However, what is interesting as well is when I looked at the footage that while it's returning home, I must have been fiddling with the sticks, because I do not believe that a drone would return to home flying in reverse. You actually see it flying backwards into the trees. So while I believe that I had absolutely no connection to the drone, I didn't have a video feed to the drone, it must have been me playing with the sticks, and it must have responded to those stick movements. Because why would it otherwise fly backwards into the trees? It doesn't make sense to me. So there's a bit of a question mark still in my mind. But anyway, you see it flying into the trees here and making a very ungraceful landing. It tried to recover at one stage, maybe the bottom sensor hit a tree or something, and it shot back up again, trying to land in the tree. And then, as you will see later as well, the motors just failed, and it just crashed to the ground. Now, I must give a little bit of a shout out here to a Mr. Kent of mrkent.com. He actually pointed me in the right direction with one of his videos in using air data to actually get more flight information. So thank you, Mr. Kent, and I suggest you guys go check him out, mrkent.com. He makes very informative drone videos with his Mini. Anyway, so he showed me in that video that you can actually see the flight data, and you will see in these screenshots here that at some stage the drone initiated its return to home procedure because the signal was lost, and then it crashed into the tree, and the motors actually then stopped working and it crashed to the ground. Now, the title of this video is The Resilience and Strength of My Little Mini. I've seen a lot of complaints about the Mini as well, being a toy, being a plastic little thing. My experience is actually different. Because when I looked at my Mini, yes, it had been damaged, but if you look at it now, it doesn't look too bad, right? When I take it out of my bag here, to cover some of the scuff marks and damage, I have put some wrapping on it. Now I know that there will be some purists out there saying you shouldn't apply a wrap to your drone, and you also see I put some motor covers on there because I live in the desert here in Dubai and it's extremely dusty. Now people will say, you know, if DJI wanted the motors to be covered, they would have done it. I've had no adverse effects of these motor covers and they actually helped me. But if you look at my props here from the accident, you can see they're completely scuffed and damaged, right? Now, the interesting thing is that it still flies perfectly with these props. Don't try this at home. I'm not recommending you do this. I merely and only wanted to make sure and test how resilient my drone actually was. You should never fly suspect prop blades. You should always, when in doubt, replace them, right? However, just for this video, I have kept them on there for a while, and I've been doing a number of flights, and they work very well. Then you see the battery door was actually cracked off as well, and I actually had to take the drone apart and actually glue that battery door with some super glue, believe it or not. And even the nose, I mean actually the nose was the biggest damage, right? It had completely split open. Just keep in mind that yes, there are a few screws holding the body shell together, but most of it inside is actually plastic clips that connect one body shell to another. And a lot of these body clips had broken off inside the nose. So I had to split open my drone, which again you can see YouTubers do, right? So it's not that complicated, but it's a little bit delicate, so you have to be careful. I opened the drone, took off the body top shell and cleaned off the broken clips so that I could close it best I can. And you can see there that it's actually okay, right? It's not perfect, you can see it's damaged, but it's okay. I will replace that with a complete new body shell as well, by the way, but for now I'm fine with it, right? So you will see that the body shell is now more or less intact, but the top shell actually has a crease in it, which is ugly, right? It actually creased on impact, and you can see the shadow there under the wrap. So because it's so ugly, I decided to put the wrap on. I think the wrap looks cool anyway, you know. I don't mind. In fact, I like pimping up my drone. I think it looks cool. So all of that damage, and the drone is still working. Can you believe it? No problem with the internals, no problem with the gimbal. Everything is absolutely fine. So I'm actually extremely impressed with this little drone, I must tell you. And I've had quite a number of flights since that accident with this drone as it is. So the lesson here is, when you go flying, don't be a rookie like me. Stick to your pre-flight checks. Don't get excited to get the drone up in the air. Do the right thing. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. Just control the emotions, and your drone will be